Hello, darlings. Okay, we are back. We're going to take a look at yesterday's work and the day before yesterday's work together. Now, I am not going to do any wet felting today because I need to finish this up. A little better. Okay. It is so wet. It's been pouring for quite some time, and it's going to go on for another couple hours, I think. So I don't want to add a whole lot more water into my apartment. So I just turned off the AC to get a sound break. It's like, oh yeah, I can hear myself think again. And what I want to do is accentuate this idea of the sun, because right now it just looks like a psycho eye, I think. But before we get to that, we're going to take a look at the lantern. It poofed out nicely. Like a clown car. And okay. Ta-da! Now, let's take a look. Where is today? View of the channel. There we are. Wanted to get to the chat. Didn't say hello. There we are. Hello. And of course, peace and love. Peace and love. And there we go. You have been officially greeted. Now, it's kind of cool. It's a dismal gray day. I can turn this light off and I'll see where I want the holes. Now, there we go. Got some good spots right there. Open that up just a little. There we go. Got a few here. Now, if not enough light comes through the sides in a fully darkened room, I'll definitely have to make some more holes. But I kind of like the idea of putting holes all the way around it. To let out some more. Okay. Let's go kind of equidistant. Now I may have to wet this down again and heal all the little holes because I'm going to have to cut, I think. Because the yarn has memory, it wants to go back to what it was before I stabbed it so mercilessly. That's better. Okay, let's get a third one there. It's a bit thick right there. Let's go the other way. Yeah, it's better. Yeah, I made what looked to be a beautiful cup of tea, and I haven't even sipped it yet. I always save it like dessert over here. Lovely, especially on a rainy day like today. Oh, that sound on my phone. Sorry. Okay. This hole kind of happened, just a thin spot, which I allow to happen, but I didn't realize I had a piece of yarn stuck to it. And now I can't put the hole there without risking tearing this off, so we're just gonna make it smaller. And well, we'll test it tonight in my room. Excuse me. And hopefully nine holes will be enough. I won't put any in the back. We're gonna find out. Anyway, it came out nice. I really like the Angelina yarn here, which I didn't really think I would like. I kind of bought it because it was unique, and when I did so, I didn't know what I was going to make with it. So this is my first exploration with that. So, okay, cool. Put that over there for now. And now this. I just have not been happy with the way the yellows go with the reds sometimes, or oranges. You know, it's like they're so different. Like they've got a color base that just doesn't jive with my eyes. So I'm going to try and fix that by making the eye of the sun a little more dimensional with needle felting. So everything so far is just wet felting, and now we're going to stick it to it. Do I want texture? I don't think so. What I want is to make it stay down fast first. This is some fine merino. Always impressed by it. Now, this is going to come through the other side, no doubt. Like that. But it's okay, because when all it is ironed, anything left over, you just kind of remove it like fuzz. It always reminds me of sewing when I do the needlework. Luckily, I do better at this than sewing. I need more of those. Maybe I can fill some more of that on there. Excuse me.
What are you doing? They left it on the mail counter. And I know better. FedEx.
I wasn't even expecting anything.
How you doing?
I'm okay, but I'm live right now.
I'll be alright. It's like too much going on at once. It's what's bothering me.
Well, if you ever want to talk about it, it's too much going on everywhere.
It's not you, yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
It's too much to handle.
Is therapy helping you with?
Yeah. Friday.
Do you feel better after you leave there?
Actually, I do. A nice man.
As long as you feel better. Right?
I don't know why I waited 4 years.
Well, sometimes you're just not ready to handle things. But nothing
Well, I got a better grip now.
Nothing comes up until you're ready for it.
Yeah.
So, going in the right direction, you feel that right. As long as it
We've
feels
come a long
like
way,
in your heart. Yeah, don't even bother looking back anymore. It's all forward.
Yeah.
Right? Planning for tomorrow is doing for tomorrow. And what you could do today to make yourself happy.
Yeah.
That's what's important.
All right.
Okay.
Have a good night.
You too. I got a package, but I don't recognize. Oh, it's the wool. My wool has arrived. Hold on. I must open this. This This is like tight. There. Oh my God. Look at that. We got purple. We got more raspberry, it looks like. Oh, nice. Gorgeous. Beautiful. I love how this just explodes when you take it out of this compressed package. Invoice. All right. Purples. Da, 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 da. So does this match anybody? See, that's the thing about when you're getting dyed stuff. You want to get everything you need at once, because if you don't, you may not be able to get the exact thing again. Check that out. Ta-da! Ooh, I feel like I am in the lap of luxury. Why, it fills this up so nicely. Now I have enough to do my friend's purse. She wanted purples. I actually would like to buy some more periwinkle. I really love periwinkle. But I can't remember where I got it. Okay. And le bleu. Le bleu and le green. I only bought 2 ounces each. I'm still gearing up for the scarf project. Part of the problem with that is I have to do it downstairs in the community room because I don't have room up here. And I'm not usually in the mood to have people around me unless I have planned for it and I expect it. So doing something like this, it's like, okay, you're going to get psyched up because people will be around. Look at that green. I opened the wrong thing. That's okay, because we're going to open up the green suitcase too. Can you believe how much they get into these little bags? I have to say, shipping nice and fast. This is coming up from Pennsylvania. Okay, this, you can never tell, you know, online because you're looking at a photograph of a very textured product that is just gorgeous. We're gonna have to play with that. Okay. Good, we're getting, there's so many different blues, you know, and they don't all go together, as you see here. But when I'm able to get larger quantities of a color, I'll be able to expand that. So we'll have the blue greens and just the blues. Okay, since the green's already unpacked, I don't believe I have any of this green. And I felt like I need another green. And so we have it. Let's see. Now this was a gift. Somebody donated it to the yarn shop for felting or whatever you wanted. It's actually ready to be spun into, well, I'd have a piece here somewhere. I made a sample. It felt just great, but it is very coarse. This is for like doing slippers, mittens, outside jackets, not against the skin. That's very much the yarn that makes you itch. So we do need more greens. This is the cartoony stuff that came in those itty bitty bags for wet, regular needle felting, but not that. That's really beautiful. That's fine merino. But gradually I'm getting all of this stuff out and turning it into bookmarks, because I'm never going to wear these colors. Although with greens, I might end up using them to make, oh, what do you call it? Flowers, these fantasy flowers where bizarre colors reign. Ah, aloha! Yeah, it's nice and dark here, and I see some fresh rain just hit the window. Okay. This is very close to what I was using yesterday. Okay, so here too we have the need to separate these colors. We've got the burgundies, we've got reds, and we've got the pinks. The pinks also get divided because there's like the salmon pink, magenta, which, believe it or not, does have good uses, which we discovered. So yeah, it's like, what am I gonna do? Am I gonna break these up even more? I don't know. Like, wow. Just, wow. We're gonna see that more open in just a minute. Maybe I'll take all the raspberry stuff and put it in here. Since I do have a lot of it right now, I may as well go ahead and split it up. Because I have a suitcase of browns. In fact, 2 different suitcases of browns. Oh no, put that there. This will hold the new stuff. Do, do, do. And Maui, I hear ya. The only way to fly, especially on a rainy day. That's pretty close. I bet they were trying to go for the same color. I don't want to cut into the wool. There we go. Wow. Well, I hope somebody likes things made with this color. Okay, now let's. This is going to go into the orangey redsy oranges. I don't even know what to call them anymore. We've got some yellows, so it gives me yellows, and the oranges will go there. Let me zip these on up. These are one of the best things I've ever purchased, honestly. For this purpose, specifically, wool. Oh, it's perfect. I can see everything, weighs nothing, squashes flat to give you more room. Definitely a nice little product, considering how cheap it is. Yeah, overall it's a good buy. Especially, it's a good buy when you buy these, like, I don't know, 8 at a time, something like that. Don't waste your time getting 2 or 3. You're going to find uses for them, and if you don't, you'll have a friend that can. gave one of them to my friend who's into the felting, and she's definitely finding it convenient to keep all her felting stuff together. She is doing needle felting, so she doesn't have an overrun like I have of as much as I can get my hands on and afford. Oh, yeah. That's beautiful. So it is a nice cool red versus warm that goes with all the oranges. Not magenta like that, but that will work with orange. That will work with possibly, does have a streak of purple going through it. You know, a little accent. That'll be cool, wet felting it. Let me see what you said. Right now, at this moment, I'm the happiest person in the room. All right. Mr. Gary sent a sticker. Hi, Mr. Gary. Although I am looking forward to testing this stuff out, we're not going to do it today. Although actually, that might come in handy for needle felting a little bit up there. It might be perfect timing, in fact. I don't need a lot, but I do need some. Now that's a shorter staple than I was expecting. Well, this should wet felt very quickly. It's not as dense as that really expensive stuff. All right, that's plenty. This was affordable. And I know it's like, I don't even know how you would compare. There's people who do this, and there's people who do this. There's people who do this to an extraordinary quality, and others who make it like homegrown. This is like homegrown. And this particular wool there is upper shelf. I don't think I've tried any top shelf yet. I will let you know when I feel like I can afford to try it. At the moment, I do not. Excuse-moi. Ow. See? Life is good. Focus on how good that feels when things go right. I was enjoying that I got a clean washer, fairly clean washer, and my dryer, and I got some towels done and my sheets. So, like, yeah, good. They were taking up too much room. I have my tea. Yeah, it's a win. I might even make myself a little coffee cup cake today. I discovered another little way to treat myself. When you have high cholesterol, you're not supposed to eat a lot of chocolate either. And luckily, I like dark chocolate, which has the least amount. Still, I've been very limited on how much chocolate I'm actually ingesting. But what I do have is like super super concentrated chocolate. It's actually like I've got some that's like literally medicinal level. It is bitter. There's not a fraction of sugar in it. So you know what it really tastes like. And sugar is a good thing in chocolate. But anyway, you're not supposed to do a whole lot of it. And I love marzipan. And I finally realized I have everything I need to make my favorite C's candy without melting the chocolate. I just got made this little slab of the almond paste, a little square from the chocolate bar. I've got one left, chocolate square that is, and just wrap it in marzipan. So normally it is marzipan covered in chocolate, but I did it inside out. A little stickier, but very satisfying. And I was quite fun with just doing the one piece for the night. So after this, I'll have to use chocolate chips because I'm out of chocolate bar. Yep, there you go. Not for some reason, because you got sucked into crap. That physical pain is your signal saying, back away, back away. Something is wrong here. It's your shields trying to go up, but you're still in the environment of the stressor. Even when you get away right away, if you don't react really fast, you can end up with like a backache for the whole night because it's an emotional, vibrational thing. One of the things I like that, well, it's true, but Abraham Hicks talks about it, that you can have a pain in your hip and be a happy person, or you can have a pain in your hip and be a miserable person. So it's true, and I noticed that when I'm in pain, if I spend a little extra time going to a happy place, because there's lots of them in your mind, the pain is definitely easier to deal with and will even dissipate to a good degree. So your emotions are directly connected to your body. And yeah, I mean, let's face it, if I didn't have ways to control my pain, I'd be grumpy a lot more than I am. I'm very rarely grumpy or in a bad mood. I mean, really, very rarely. If I get upset, it's usually just for a minute or two, and I pull my shit together. Well, I get that, but you and I have some bit different backgrounds, so you are in a kind of a surreal environment, but that's really like apartment living. It's drama all over the place because people are so diverse. Not about their skin color. It's they're diverse in their likes and dislikes and their habits and their hobbies, and just that alone is going to cause some friction here and there. If you look at the stuff that's like irritating as trying to tell you something instead of just being irritating, like, okay, I'm finding myself irritated with this person, but is it the person? What am I really reacting to? And when I did it that way, I realized I'm not reacting to that person. That person is saying something or doing something or expressing an opinion that I really can't relate to personally. So it's not that they're doing anything bad or whatever. It's, I don't feel great about being in the presence of it. But just that behavior or the subject they're talking about. It's not the person. I mean, there are people on the planet that I want nothing to do with, and the one like we're waiting for the big beautiful obituary of. So I would not want to be around that person. But there's never been a time in my life that I would have been. So nothing changed there. But most people are just going through something. Everybody's got a story. Everybody processes things differently. Some people, I'm going to guess a lot of people around your area, have PTSD. And that changes how you perceive things just with that one problem. Still feeling traumatized from the past. Still getting triggered by things that were traumatizing in the past, so that's why therapy is useful. Nevertheless, everybody can't escape it or even realizes they can. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. See? Gary, hello. Exactly. You followed what it felt better. You chose the better feeling path, which was avoidance of that person, even if it meant you had to go a little scarce, but not for long. Oh yeah. How was the birthday boy? Oh yeah, no, no. You want to avoid. It's just a personal code of ethics, right? You don't want to ask for something from someone you have no respect for, or someone who's troublesome, or can be problematic, or bring drama into your life, and we just don't do it. So we don't take anything from them, so we're not beholden to them. My feeling is around here, there's a lot of people who do it. And I mean, in our state, it's legal recreationally and medicinally. But there's a no smoking policy in the building for any reason. We can't even have candles anymore because of the open flame. So there's no okay way to do it in the building. And my feeling is, well, whether I do it or not is none of your business. And, you know, don't ask me. But I also am one of those don't ask, don't tell people. I don't want anybody knowing what I do, and I don't want to know what they do. You know? It's like you do your thing, I'll do mine. But like I said, I have a different reality completely because I can just go to the happy store and you don't have one. Hopefully, eventually you will. It doesn't make any sense not to. I remember in California, There was only two worth buying. Humboldt County, anything from the Emerald Triangle, and Hawaiian. You get some stuff coming across the border, but not that much. It's not legal there. There you go. Well, Jill wanted you to come over while he was moody. It's much better that you didn't, right? Like, oh yeah, I want to come over when someone's in a crappy mood. No, thank you. Okay, we're going to make this more visible. So I do want a few of these threads to stay across and hold this stuff down, but not a whole bunch. There we go. Can't even see what I'm doing. Oh, I guess I should have looked in the mirror before I came on. I know. To me, that's a stay away sign. Red flag, red flag. I think what she was really saying was, I can't handle this by myself. I wish if there was somebody else here to take the attention off of me, I would not be the only recipient of his crappy mood. Yeah, totally. Now, see, that's what a girlfriend kind of thing does, all right? When you're more a girlfriend, it's like, come on over, will you? We need another voice around here. And girlfriends get it. It's like, no, they don't have to interact with the guy there, but they're there for moral support and somebody else to talk to. And some people are just assholes unless somebody's around, which is not what I'm saying he is. They've been together a long time. Of course, I was married to one narcissist for 22 years, so sometimes you just gotta go through it. Okay, that looks like a better color now. These little holes will disappear after it's ironed. Yeah. You know, relationships are funny things. Sometimes you got no clue what makes it work. It's like, how does this work? Or why are they even together? Or how did they get together? And then year goes by and years go by, and it's like saying people are the Bundys for real. It's like, well, they have their thing. They have their, to all outside appearances, have this unhealthy, imbalanced relationship, but at the same time, they stick up for each other. They're there for each other. I mean, those are the better scenarios. Well, I got that impression from you already. She seems to be your type. I think you're firmly friend zone, though. When they call well and say something like she said, that's what normally she would call a girlfriend for. So you're friend zone. You're like the girlfriend, which is safe for her because if you were more than that, then he would be freaked out every time you came over. Okie dokie. I don't know if this is going to work or not, but I'm going to try putting a little bit of this needle felted in. It may not hold up under practice. That's what I mean. You're like a girlfriend. And you are spiritually connected, absolutely. Maui, everyone is, including the ones that piss you off. We came here in a massive wave together. We're here supporting each other in all of our various, well, I'll say incarnations. We come with people. We make agreements, at least to get started, like parents. And then we work together. We connect because we're all one. So the factors that you need in your life, you're attracting. You need a good friend. You need someone supportive and nice on the eyes. But yes, of course, you're connected. I don't mean to take anything mystical away from that. It's just that all of us are, just like you and I are. We're never going to get together face to face, but we've been working together on a higher level for tomorrow makes 18 years or so. 19 years. Oh my God, 19 years. What I don't get is why anybody is surprised when they realize that they're spiritually connected to each other. It's like, of course you are. It's why you had a relationship all this time. You don't have the same relationship with the other people you knew when you first met. We're here to work together. And the stuff that is unpleasant is what shows us what is. That makes it worse. You mean the person that was hanging out? They have security now. Homeless people are being chased away. I don't know if I should add any more. Okay, this is the new will. I just want enough to hold these stupid nips in place. Yeah, you, Doc. Remember that lady that was hanging out? Now this is a really nice fine merino. I wonder if somebody's relative moved into the complex. You know what I mean? I don't know how well this is going to work, but we're going to try it anyway. We have no security here other than some nosy neighbors who, one of them is always just looking to get people in trouble. He's the trumper. He literally stands in his window like this, looking out over the parking lot. Yeah, it doesn't sound like it. Well, that is how it has to be when they first go in anyway. Otherwise, people just laugh at them and no changes. Oh, missed that gun, huh? Are they armed or just dangerous? Yeah, because what can a cop do? They go from the military to the police. They only know that headset. They go and work in jails. It's like, don't you want better for yourself, man? Maybe learn a few skills. Put the weapons down. That's me going through NEPs. They're tough. There's one that came out. It looks like a fisheye now. Ha! What's this fish doing over the eye of the sun? Looks stupid. There. They're dangerous. Oh, I bet. They're all buddies, buddy. All right. The nips are fastened down. Little devils. Not too bad. All right. I just have to iron it now. Ta-da! So this is going to be a prize for the next bingo. This and this lantern. No. Nope, still too bright. I mean, you can see the light through the holes, but not through the wool itself. Maybe I made the middle layer too thick. Well, I'll test it in the dark tonight. Thank you. Yeah, I like how it came out. These fibers turned out to be fun. Like I was saying earlier, when I was buying all those really weird yarns, well, the complex stuff, and like this has 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This has 9 strands, this yarn. 9 strands. You're supposed to crochet or knit with all 9 of those at once. Like, no, no. but it looked really cool and sparkly. And I thought, well, let's try it. Well, we just did. Okay. Now let's put this away. So I still have a large list of wools that I want to buy, but I'm not doing it this month. I just overindulged in buying what you saw today. I mean, I didn't break my bank or anything like that. Just, I'd like to make sure I'm always comfortable, not on the edge of the last few dollars for food. And they've done that too many times. No more. And we do have a garden. There you go. We will keep an eye on it. I'm going to get some blue for a sky. Now, our resident senior advisor is going to be doing me a big favor that she doesn't know yet. She's going to print out a bunch of pages for my class. Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. That's gorgeous, isn't it? No, wrong one. That'll do for that. Anyway, she fell in love with some of the lanterns I made that have, you know, a tree in a garden, and they have rose color, that so it lights up really pretty. So I'm going to make the wild garden kind of feeling bookmarks today. Because with this, I can add all kinds of little things. And let's see, that's not going to be enough green. We're trying to get rid of this stuff, so let's see, we'll throw some of this in there. Yeah, we'll make that work. I'll probably draw some of these out to make it look like a little bit of a wild garden. Oh. Okay. Okay. Now today, as I was getting dressed in black and white, I realized that there is something missing in my wardrobe. That's a black and white purse. Why don't I make myself a black and white bag? I have black and white wool. Charlie, hello, darling. All right. Just make sure you get a good night's sleep. Drink plenty of water today. Excuse me, so your brain is fully hydrated. So I can't wait to hear how it goes. Now, when you take it, do you find out right away, pass or fail, or what do they do? Well, then, my darling, I will say Sweet dreams be yours, dear, if dreams there be. I'll be back tomorrow after 3. Ah, don't forget to play your ukulele. Okay. Yeah, usually it's just a matter of going slowly, reading it, making sure you are really reading it. Because see, in America, they do trick questions. It's not that they're trick questions; they just word them in a way that can make you screw up if you are not paying attention. So I always warn people about that. Excellent. Then I will know immediately when you are back on the air at the same time I am. Go, make me happy. Succeed. Oh, yes, okay. Yes, but you're a good reader. Your comprehension is excellent. It doesn't endear one to the department because we do not like stupid questions, do we? And when we know they did it intentionally, it's all the more annoying. There's an episode of The Big Bang Theory where Sheldon gets pushed into getting his driver's permit, and he tears apart those questions because, he's that way anyway. But he had to question over and over until they were like, here's your permit, get out of here. You always make me proud. Even if you failed it, I would still be proud of you for trying, and I know you'd go back and do it again and get it right. Mostly I just want you to eat well, rest well, make sure you drink plenty of water. I'll see you tomorrow. Love you. We're going super wispy here. Okay. I'll be here. I learned how to give myself an injection tomorrow. So we will report on our mutual adventures. Oh, maybe I should do it this way first. Yeah. We'll bring that back up. Here. So silky. Look at that. Whoops. Don't worry, we're adding character as we entangle. Oh my goodness. Okay, we have to do it this way first. Oh no. You need some diatomaceous earth, honey. Sprinkle it around the base of the plants. Soft-bodied insects scratch their surface gets microscopically scratched when they go over DE, and it's also very fine. It sticks to them and it cuts them when they dry out. So any that you miss in person will walk to their demise over the course of the day. Eggshells is calcium, and there's nothing wrong with that, but calcium will change the pH of your garden, which may or may not be a good thing. I don't know what the pH is and what it needs to be. DE doesn't change the pH. It's silica, basically. So what it does use, I mean, it will make it stronger, but DE is not expensive. But again, you're in Hawaii, so what do I know? Okay, go there. Eggshells, we'll cut and dry them out too if you grind it up super fine. If you do that, wear a mask because it will destroy your lungs if you inhale eggshell dust. Take it from one who knows. As an egg carver. And the goal of this mission is to do what? Are you just making it a place of peace for yourself? Or is your mission to have a successful garden? It changes every year, Maui. Everything continually changes in the garden. As it's using nutrients, the pH changes, etc., etc. It's always changing. I think my mistake in my early years of farming or gardening, I did not farm that whole land. I assumed a lot about how things grew from year to year. The one thing I did was I tried a lot of seeds. We had so many acres. It was like, well, why we've got access to all this land? Let's do it. Let's try it. So I got all kinds of heirloom seeds, and my first tomato season, I planted 18 varieties of tomatoes. That looks like a about 20 feet of tomato plants. At least 20 feet. Yeah, it was a big garden. Yeah, now the food is number one. It's always nice for your work to be appreciated by others, but it's even nicer when you're growing your own food. Oh, this Corriedale might be too bulky for this. Look at that wiry stuff. That's cool. Puh. Well, one nice thing you have at your fingertips that I did not have, that's the internet. Help you find all kinds of stuff, help you troubleshoot, help you figure out what's screwing up. So that's nice. In the 90s and 2000s, I did not have that. Even though we got the internet, actually, I was able to get into the United States agricultural database thanks to Dr. Duke. And that was awesome because you could look up anything that the USDA did research on. That's also where I discovered flaws in the system, where people had begun just copying and pasting other people's research. And I caught them sharing false information about a plant. And I knew that plant extremely well because I spent a lot of time photographing it and looking things up about it. And the actual name is bladderwort. And it's a really fascinating little plant that grows in the wild. Oh, yeah? Have you found it very useful? Because the free version didn't do very much for me. Oh, future nep there. No, thank you. No, I have to put more yarn or more wool back down on this for all these little thin spots. We're going to use some different grains. Let's get some of this silk. I want a kind of a wild garden effect. This is the stuff that's so fine, it sticks to your every pore. Now this is very much like a Corriedale. Very bulky, chunky. Short. It must be different. The Corriedale I have is longer staple. So I'm not sure what this is. It's from China. I have to look that up and find out what kind of sheep they mostly use. Very thin, very thin. Yes, I've caught a few of those videos. I don't know. It spoke Chinese. Oh, thank you. They don't really need any more bookmarkers, but there are people who are actually collecting them. So it's like each sheet is like, oh, what's new this week? Which pleases me that they like it that much. Yeah, right. He tried to hold on so he could continue his lying and failed. I knew that when his wife went to China. It's like, really? Yeah, I know she has a multi-billion-dollar industry going there. Can't avoid that. But a strange thing to do if your husband is struggling with his health, recovering from pneumonia. No, we don't, honey. See, that's one of those religious things, but I understand the sentiment. When we know somebody has lived a very evil life, when they finally croak, one of our little fantasies is that finally justice will be served. Finally, that bastard is going to burn where he belongs to burn. But that isn't what happens. This reality feels really big and intense, but it's not as real as it feels. So nobody burns, nobody goes to hell or heaven, although I would say the feeling is very heavenly as we perceive heaven, but no streets paved with gold, nobody running around holding their Bibles up. Look, Jesus, I was good. I died with it in my hand. There's none of that. There's no reward for giving up anything. No, there's no money in heaven either, or hell. The truth is, and the reason no religion wants to teach it, because they completely lose power over the narrative if you know the truth. The truth is, you don't burn. All is love and deep compassion and complete understanding for whatever you did in your life. In fact, you came here to be different. You came here to do things, and that includes making lots of human mistakes because that's part of being human. So no, we don't punish ourselves for a life that other humans might decide was poorly lived, as much as we wish that's the way it worked. If you're going to suffer, you're going to do it here. There's no suffering when you let go of your body. Well, I believe he is dead or on life support, barely, but I don't believe he's alive because of the first report after he fell. He was unresponsive, but to me, the giveaway was when the ambulance people took his body out. He wasn't hooked up to anything. Nobody was in a rush, if you catch my drift. And like I say around here, when you hear a siren, that's good. It means the person is still alive and there is still hope because they're rushing. That's not what they did with McConnell's body when they took him out of his house. Yeah, except that he needs him, and that's why this whole mockery of the law. He needs a Republican, and they don't have a Republican ready to take the seat. But he can't vote. He's missed the last few votes. He's not sent in his opinions about anything. So he's as good as dead because it was kind of important stuff. But if he was in there, if he was all there, then it wouldn't be so good because we would have one more vote to support the maniac's agenda. I'd miss gaming when you'd croak. No, you wouldn't. But again, we come back and do new things. In this life, gaming perhaps. But it's not the only reason we come back. We work with other people, other entities. We're multidimensional beings, vibrational beings. We let go of the bodies. We let go of all the concerns that go with the body. But you see, people are terrified of what they don't know, which is why it's so easy to sell them afterlife insurance in the form of religion. They're given a comforting set of rules. Follow those rules and you'll be safe. But a lot of it is bullshit and your inner being knows it. So you don't really feel that safe, which is why you never let go of the Bible. You just keep doing the same thing over and over. Fear. Fear that God will have the ultimate retribution, will punish you for your bad thoughts or deeds. And indeed, that is how they keep a lot of people under control. God is going to punch you in the mouth if you keep doing that. Don't you know that? So you're safer than you feel. That's why I say one of the things you need to keep saying to yourself is things are always working out for me. Things are going my way. I'm going to feel good today. The vibrational level that you're on is going to dictate what you're attracting into your experience. So pay attention to how you feel. If you're feeling angry or kind of disrupted, then you're on a lower vibration. You need to pull your head out of your ass. Yeah, that's what people say when they've had a tough life, but they do. We always do. Because when we see our perspective, which is so much greater than what we experience here as a human in these limited little bodies, you realize all the wonderfulness. And if you did not experience that, then you want to come back and try again. Because our lives here are so short compared to what we are, it's just so short. And even when it's miserable, what we add to the whole matters. But again, they teach hell so that when you have a bad life, you don't off yourself. They don't want you prematurely leaving because they know teenagerhood, especially, it's hard to get through. A lot of teenagers contemplate or try to commit suicide because being a teenager is hard. It's when we're going through so many different kinds of challenges, and often we don't have any humans around that can give us reasonable answers. So, yeah, I know. Exactly. To me, that's the sinning. Telling people they're going to hell, they're lying to them to keep them under control. If you understand how permanent we are, a fixture in this universe, even though our bodies don't last that long, you would understand that there's no reason to be worried about anything. You never get it all done. You always want to do more. There will always be more to do. So you can't judge the universe and your other incarnations by your limited experience in this body. But yeah, they're not the only ones that tell those terrible lies, Gary. Um, I've heard it out of every evangelist. They're not preaching love. They're not preaching God. They're preaching a death cult. Do this so when you die, do this so when you die, have this attitude. Don't cuss. Don't cuss. God does not like cussing. So, well, yeah, well, it was humans who made up all the words. People get all upset about such the wrong things. You wouldn't know the difference, Gary. My cat, Manushka, was basically barely alive when I moved to the country and he started hunting rats. And all those live enzymes brought him to the peak of health. I mean, he was like, didn't even look like the same cat anymore. Nature has it all worked out. Not cat food that you get in a can, but we just keep interfering so much. We forget who's who. Now, one of my friends needed a car really, really badly. And like so many of us, had pretty much no money. So she was having a hard time believing that she would find something. And I kept saying, if you keep talking like that, that's what you're going to get, nothing. And finally, I said, just every day, your mantra needs to be something like, I have everything I need and more. Just say that until your brain gets it. You start vibrating at it, that things start shifting. So what happens? One of our neighbors wants to sell her car for exactly the amount of money that she has. Your purpose would be to enjoy life as a bird. You don't come back as a bird anyway. You've already done it. You've already been a single cell amoeba. You've already been a reptile. You've been a fish. You've been all that stuff. We've we're up here at the top of the chain right now as humans. I'm not saying at the top of the chain makes us superior, but we do want to accomplish certain things while we're here, and having a human brain and mobility does matter to us. Your purpose to be a bird, if you came back as a bird, is to be a bird. You're not a you don't have a human brain in your bird body. You got a bird brain that knows what to do as a bird because you were born with that programming. Matter of fact, the Matrix said that very well. When the Oracle was saying, you see those birds over there? At some time, a program was written for every one of them. What about it? You're not punished that way. You're not punished. Get that out of your head. That's a religious screw up belief. Because you poop, and if you do it a lot at one restroom break, you are a horrible person with a horrible past. Where'd that come from? Did you have to use a public restroom and shit for too long for somebody? I mean, it doesn't matter what other people think about you or what you do. And what they think about you is none of your business. You have your brain to take care of, and that's hard enough. You don't need to be monitoring anybody else's thoughts, right? It's all about you while you're here. Your reality is a reflection of where you've been at your whole life. For you, your whole momentum since you were born. How good a human or bad a human? Do you think that Donald Trump is going to come back as a banana slug? No. We'd like to think that, although banana slugs have their own beauty. Now let's put that a little lower. I have Irish in me. Well, again, you're referring to your biological beginning, which has nothing to do with your spiritual self, which is ancient, beyond ancient, because you existed before this planet existed. All right? You existed before the planet. The fact that you have Irish background in this body is meaningless unless you're into Irish stuff. It's just who you are in this time. Again, the past, everybody's past is going to have those potholes because we're learning as we go. We're complete jerks for the first 20 years. We're still trying to figure out who we are. What do we want to do? And then people lay shit on us like, oh, what's your purpose? You must find your purpose. It's like, when you learn to figure out, well, you don't have to figure anything out. It's a feeling thing. Your purpose is to experience joy as much as possible while you're on this planet. And if you don't, it's your fault. We can blame it on other people. It's never going to work. Well, I don't worry about it. Again, you're worried about what other people think about you when you just do the perfectly human function of bowel movement or peeing. It's like, why would it be anybody's business? If they have a comment, it's their problem. They've got the hang up, they've got the problem. It's like, don't you pay somebody a price for somebody else's stupid beliefs or understandings? Like, who are they? You think they were made special and you weren't? Somehow they were born knowing more than you? Oh, well, okay, there you go. That's a very good one, Gary. That's true. When people started focusing on a particular thing, it does put that into the common pool of vibration. Thoughts do not just disappear. That's why it's one of the reasons it's hard to get out of the past sometimes. But then we go into psychology, and that's another story. But just vibrationally speaking, whatever you keep bringing up is going to have a stronger vibration. And what what has strong vibration on this planet? Fear, anger, the lowest of the vibrations. Literally the lowest on the color scale. It's red, right? We think of anger as being represented by the color red. What else? Rage. Yeah, we have love too. But love tends to be more pink. Psychologically, we're a little bit more intimidated by women who wear red versus a woman who wears pink. It's all right because bagpipes are not Irish, they're Scottish. Which, by the way, so is Trump. Yes, just put it in your mind. Again, you don't even have to avoid. When you start to avoid, you actually are setting up a meeting because you're thinking about them, all right? Your thinking becomes the point of attraction. So if you don't want to run into people who vex your spirit in any way, what you want to do is not think about them. When they pop in your head, go, oh yeah, you, and brush them aside mentally. Brush them aside and think of something you like. You don't have to think bad things about someone just because you don't want them in your life. I mean, I've got family members that I don't think bad about them in terms of like who they are, but I know things about them that make me not want to be around them. So it's like, okay, well, they're not healthy. But if I sit here and think about how unhealthy they are, I'm not helping them. I'd rather see them getting help in my mind. Even though I'm not around them, it's like, okay, well, I know that they will be a lot happier when they finally turn around and get some help. Wow, did they blow it? You find peace by yourself because peace comes from inside. It comes from you not reacting to outside influences anymore. You're not so easy to sway by every news item, etc. Every idiot person around you, because apparently there are a lot of them. But fear is useless. Fear is counterproductive. Fear is a tool to manipulate others. Keep them afraid. Keep them worried. And yeah, it's not a good thing. And it is very energy consuming, isn't it? But our nature is not fear. Our nature is love. It's just hard to believe that when you see so much violence and anger and all that. But that again that's a human thing. It's a human distraction. We have to sometimes, well, go home to remember who we were and drop all that anger or fear. But religion keeps you afraid of not being good enough or deserving of some heavenly resting place. And that is the lie. There is no resting place. If we were able to stay awake 24/7 just so we could keep experiencing and doing, we would. It just happens that our human vehicles don't agree. Our spiritual energy is endless. Yep, there you go. When people do not know how to save their money or how to deal with it, they just blow right through it. It's like lottery winners. If you don't take care of the psychological need for that money first, when you get it, you're going to blow it. It's not that people are stupid, they just aren't educated on how to handle money. And they need that instant gratification because they have been feeling so deprived for so long. And that's the setup. And that's too bad for that woman. 60 grand is a substantial down payment on a house. 60 grand could be a really awesome vacation 4 times. Yeah, you got to pay attention to every day. And if you let your energy drop to where you're just getting all reactive, reaction is not helping you or anybody around you. You want to really help the world, you got to raise yourself. Your good vibes help. I got a little too twisted up. It filtered like almost immediately. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I know I'll get some white and put some little poofy white clouds up there. Well, Doc, her friends know what she just did, and they're not going to have any respect for her, and she's going to lose her friends. To have that kind of money and just blow right through it, that's an emotionally unstable person. They're getting the gratification through the spending of money. Might even be a little bipolar, as they call it these days. And they get that euphoric feeling from spending money. Yep, get poof here. You're supposed to be cloud-like. Yeah, a little more. A few more clouds. Looks like we need some over here. A little thin, a little wet. Okay. Yeah, I really need to make a black and white purse. Okay. Well, do we want to see how this came out? I will have to get the towel down. Looks awfully thin right there. All right, I'm going to get a little hot water and warm that up. No, it's not really warm, is it? Oh well. You'll have to do without that. Okay. Where did I put? There it is. Oh no, that's the little one. So much of this stuff around now. That's good. Good. Then I am very glad for you guys. You're getting your head on straight. Just appreciate what you have if you want more. And the stuff that upsets you, try not to give it any energy. The faster you get off the subject, the better it is for you. And ultimately for anybody around you. Anybody that's a real friend doesn't want to see you suffering, right? So when you take care of yourself, you make your friends happy too. Now, the nice thing about doing the bookmarkers is it really fast work because it's only 2 layers usually of wool. So they knit, going for thin and hopefully a little transparent. Well, not transparent, just a lot of light through it. Because after all, it is just going to sit inside a book and you don't need to gentle the pages. It's a little fancier than I go with bookmarkers. Like I said, I know somebody who wants this kind of a wild garden feeling design because she already tipped me off. So now she'll be able to pick out a bookmarker and have it. Come on, hydrate. See, it's not just people that need hydration. Your dry wool needs it too. Don't go anywhere. It's fun to see how much this stuff shrinks too. It starts out this big, it's not going to be anywhere near this big when it's done. Now, since I don't have to worry about the edges, like sealing edges, just massaging it in all directions will be enough. You don't have to worry about massaging from the outside toward the center because we're not making seams. Let's take a look at the other side. There won't be any flowers on that side. Look at that. Kind of cool. Whoops. Well, it's upside down. Looks like it may have stopped raining. I wanted to get it out of its system before I have to go out tomorrow. I did go to the new Spider-Man movie with the guy from work. Went to Applebee's too. Well, it sounds like a nice afternoon. So, what was the title of this one? Yeah, I was about to ask. Was it good? I've only seen the first one. Come on. Stay down. We don't want to lift any of this wool up. But it's starting to felt to this fabric. And that's what we don't want. Go over there. Thank you. Okay, these are going to be cute bookmarkers. We've got some of the rose colors we are going to bleed through, which was intentional. You are not sticking well. Let's throw you away. No, we'll leave you. Might be able to get it to stick. Now, as it shrinks, all the silk should start making really cool patterns. Star Trek, there was a lot of ship captains that went rogue. Oh, were there? Yeah, there were a couple I know of. I've seen more Star Trek movies than I have Spider-Man. X-Men movie about Jean Grey. Oh yeah. I've only seen I think I've seen the first three and I bought another one, but I've after starting it a few times I just kind of gave up. It wasn't like appealing. Well, she's Phoenix, so that makes sense. Phoenix rises. Must be love. I don't know. She didn't recycle her boyfriend. They didn't recycle Scott. I don't know. I haven't followed the universe. I go so far and it's like, okay, you guys have any new ideas? Although with everybody's got their own offshoot. I mean, who didn't fall in love with Wolverine? Well, not all of you. It was jolting to see him as Wolverine, and the character was very, he was a good actor. But then to see him singing on Broadway was like, well, son of a gun. You can sing and dance too. That might stick after a while. I'm not sure. I may have made it too tight. Those are working. All right, we got some rose color coming through the sky. Yay! So, what about the Spider-Man movie you just saw? Did you say? Oh, this is nice and thin. Okay. Stay. You're not cooperating. I know, that was so sad. Oh yeah, Wolverine had a killer. I forgot about that. He fell in love with her too. Those guys. At least she didn't kill Wolverine. That was a hell of a tense scene, though, wasn't it? Oh, how cool. He's a good-looking man. But they make him short in the movie? So was he on a panel? The time Spider-Man saved her and said almost the same line Wolverine did. Wait a second, wait a second, wait a second. How did Spider-Man end up with Phoenix? Oh yeah? You must shush. Okay. I'm not likely to see it, so spare Doc he is. Well, he's more likely than me. Invincible. Invincible? Not the Invincibles. The animated thing. Blind dating. Well, that would have been Scott. Well, I think we're about ready to start rolling this. It feels pretty together. although I think it might be a little too wet. Animation on Amazon Prime. Is that a whole family of superheroes? Including a little baby? I don't get Prime anymore because I'm boycotting Bezos as much as I can. My games are still tied to them, though. Oh, really? Oh, that's The Incredibles. I guess that is a different thing. That's how alert I am to those. So there's The Incredibles, which is a family that includes a baby, and there's the Invincibles, who are what? Besides Invincible. Jean Grey showed up in a freaking Peter Parker teenage story. Hmm. Well, they just go back and forth all over those universes, don't they? Yes, I remember. It was quite a sad scene. His glasses just hanging. She just blew all of him into oblivion, separated his molecules, as it were. Oh yeah, this is nice and thin. Invincible's Earthboy is half alien. Earthboy who is half alien, and there's a hidden agenda, and when he gets power when he's 18 years old. Oh, interesting. Did they say aliens from where? I mean, that's kind of interesting. You watched Invincible? What did you think of it, Gary? Oh, I got so much soggy stuff here now. Ah, I want to see the series Third Rock from the Sun. I think that's what it's called. It's got John Lithgow in it. I've never seen it, but it sounded like a series I would watch. I actually never watched Invincible. Was that ending a surprise? Like, oh, they're not really families. They're all here from outer space, just ready to take over the world or something. Oh, yeah. That's not unusual. Survivor stuff. Why did I live and they didn't? You already answered it. You said you never watched Invincible. I thought because part of your sentence was hidden by the chat thing, I thought you were saying you did see it. Third Rock. It seemed like a fun premise, and it was like an expansion of Alf. I have to see. I just haven't been watching series except ones I already own and I've seen a million times, because if I put something on I've never seen before, I'm completely absorbed by it, like I used to be by commercials after years without seeing commercials, because that was back when they were funny. Yeah? Oh, well, that's good. That is good writing. I hope I can do as good a job with my story. Oh my God, it's 5:30. I've been on for almost 3 hours. Well, we're almost done. Getting to the point of washing it in hot water. Okay, we're getting a little too rough there with the bubbles. Let's get the smooth side down. Hey, hey. Well, it hasn't shrunk a lot yet. I could, at this point, I think I can roll this up. Well, I do like funny stuff, so. I said, I just haven't had time to like focus on a new series, because once I start, I have to watch it all. And right now I'm trying to write a story, so I don't want to be accidentally stealing from other people. That's always been a concern of mine. Loosen up. Well, still not significant shrinkage. Maybe it really needs a third layer for that. But this is starting to shrink somewhat because I can see what's happening to the viscose. See how wiggly it's getting? That's a good sign. Same thing with the white silk here. Now, the white will be more visible after I get this washed out and all the soap is gone. I think I actually discovered 30 Rock, thinking I was tracking down Third Rock from the sun. So that was very funny too. Nothing about aliens, but totally off the wall. And oh my God, the talented people in that show. So much talent. Wait a minute. I'm a Mars alien. Can't even see that. And wait a second. Mars alien in the show that doesn't know how to communicate his feelings will. Then you find out it's not because he's alien. The other alien sees the same thing from that character as the Earth people see. That he sees humans having a hard time expressing their true feelings and just follows that. We're getting dry now. Drier. I feel like I'm stretching it instead of shrinking it now. I better put it on the longer piece of plastic. Yeah, I think I'm just going to have to do the hot water bath because it seems like it's pretty felted. But we're not getting the shrinkage, so this is palming. This does help shrink it. As you can see right there, the blue sky is getting shrunk a little. Both worlds, Mars and Earth. Can't relate to that Martian. That's funny, as they use Martians in it, huh? Well, this is disappointing because Mars is in my third book. Well, not as Mars, it's Scarga, which came from my first book. We're rounding the corner here. Could be. It's slow, even for a Martian. The same people made what? You seem to be. But that's on Amazon, you said? If it's Netflix, I can watch it. Or YouTube. But not Amazon. You know what popped up in my feed yesterday? The Day the Earth Stood Still. That's a great movie. Oh, yes, guys, remember please to leave a thumbs up for me or a heart or whatever they're using now. I noticed some of the stuff coming up in my feed has hearts instead of thumbs up, so. The superhero show Peacemaker is not bad either. It's on both? It's on Netflix and YouTube, Amazon? You don't usually find that. Yeah, it's wool. It will shrink in hot water. That's the idea. Okay, we're getting some breakage from me doing it this way. We're just going to do the hot water and let it go. Okay, so we will see this tomorrow. We see how it shrinks and how it irons. So yeah, but we're definitely getting uneven shrinkage here. I knew it wasn't going to be even because I didn't lay the wool out, but you can see where that's going to be a weird bookmarker, that one. Have to expand it, but we'll do it while it's wet, because otherwise we're going to break through. So that's our Wild Garden bookmarkers. Peacemaker is on HBO and Invincible is on Amazon. Yeah, I don't go to either one of those. How do you do all those subscriptions? How much is HBO anymore? I thought HBO was cable only. Is it not? Yummy, yummy. Oh, what shall I make for dinner? Oh, I know. When I went downstairs to do the towels, somebody gave me a cabbage. Because the person who gave me the cabbage can be violent, depending on medication, I took it. It is a gigantic cabbage, so I think I'm cooking cabbage tonight. Good thing I like it. So I'm going to cook dinner. I'm going to wash this. We'll be back tomorrow to see everything ironed. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I'll be back tomorrow after, well, probably after 3 o'clock Eastern time. For reference, it's 5:50 p.m. Eastern time. Oh, that's nice. I didn't know you could do that if you didn't have the cable to hook up to it. But it's now just streaming like all the others? I'm going to say good night. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'll be back tomorrow. Aloha. Oh, I got to write that down, right? Whoa, not that. There. No kidding. Well, that's bad news. That means everybody can get Fox. Ugh. Anyway, my loves, I will see you tomorrow. If you're around, I'll be here. And I'll tell you what my first experience with a needle was like.